Again, first of all, just welcome. And as Erica said, everybody's on mute, and we're going to be opening it up periodically just to see if you guys have any questions. And also, while I'm going through this, please think of any projects you may have, anything that you need help on, anything you wonder why. If I don't have the answer for you, I will get it to you. But just as a brief introduction, my name is Rick Paterni, and I've been here at TMI for almost 26 years now. I've been a product manager for probably the last 10 or 11 years. I've done everything from working on the shop floor, plant manager through sales. So I'm quite versed in all the products that we have. So any questions you might have, I'll bend over backwards to help you. Just a great company, a great group of folks, and great products as well. So again, thank you for coming. So of all of our products, the industrial curtain is probably one of my favorite just to work with. Only because it's kind of like the erector set for any type of industrial application. Any problem you might have, we can generally come up with some type of solution to fix it, and it's generally cost effective as well. And one of the nice things about curtains is that they're considered temporary, and you wouldn't have to go through many of the permitting processes that you would with brick and mortar type walls. So the first slide that we're showing here is just some different type of applications. The one on the left with the Matco with the lift there, that is in a body shop application. A lot of times folks will need those for separating where they're doing some finishing versus any type of manufacturing or sanding type work. This way everything's protected. You can still use the workspace when, for other areas or other needs whenever you pull the curtains out of the way. It's just a good way to separate environments and to keep the area clean. The middle type line drawing, that is some of our newer hardware. That's clean screen hardware, as we refer it to. It's all stainless steel. It's open design. That way everything drips off of it. There's no place for water to catch. It's for a wash down application, food service. A lot of the areas that use that is any type of food manufacturing. We use those curtains for like Nestle's, M&M Mars, anything that they're doing, Kellogg's, where they need to separate different food types, especially for allergies. It's real big. They might have some type of cereal or an area where they're using nuts in, and they want to separate it from the rest of the lines, and it can be easily washed down and cleaned without any type of bacteria. If you look at the upper right, that is one of our outdoor curtains. It has a mesh center with a rain flap kind of towards the inside. That's meant to be outside, and I'll get further details with that later. But what that does is that allows the curtain to be outside, still provide protection, but it allows the airflow to move through. And we also offer some motorized options, and that would be the lower right-hand corner. And we'll be going into all these a little bit further detail. So just to begin, what our curtains feature is we differentiate ourselves from the competition because we have all heat-sealed seams and hems that offer a greater strength. The competition, what they do is they will sew the curtains, and what that does is that puts thousands of perforations into the curtain. It also gives a place for bacteria to be trapped, and eventually the thread will rot as well. So what we do is we do a fully heat-sealed perimeter in any type of seams, hems. Everything's RF welded or hot air welded. And we have a track system. We're one of the largest stocking manufacturers of the track system in the United States. We have thousands of parts in stock ready to ship every day. Our track system is quite the universal design. It could be mounted to a ceiling, beam, wall, suspended by chains or by threaded rods. And one of the ways that we help keep the curtain in place, we really don't have any size limits. We can generally make it to fit any size application that you need. But one of the things that we do to keep the curtain weighted in place is we supply a chain in the bottom. And we have a wide variety of materials as well in different colors, thicknesses, and types. But one of the most popular is that we have an NFPA 701, which is a type of fire rating. Basically what it comes down to is self-extinguishing PVC. As soon as you take away the flame, it will go out. We have static dissipative for any type of like a clean room application or any type of computer equipment where you don't want any kind of static to build up. And we also have CFR 21, which is USDA material for any type of wash down or food service PVC. And again, like I mentioned before, we make it to order. We have some quick ship curtains that are stock height and weight with sitting in stock, but generally everything is made to your specifications. The benefits of curtains are they're cost-effective to permanent walls. You know, you're generally looking at a few dollars per square foot versus $10 to $15 a square foot on different types of brick and mortar. They provide environmental separation with easy access, and it's a lot more efficient use of space. If you have some type of maintenance or equipment that you need to get out occasionally, you put a curtain wall in there, you can move it in and out of your way. And another thing that they're quite often used for is any type of energy consumption. We reduce the energy required in an area simply by creating a barrier. Not much R value to the plastic, but what it does do is it creates a barrier that provides separation to keep the heat in or heat out, depending on what season you're in. They're perfect for warehouse separations, workspace allocations, machine isolation. A lot of times if you have some loud machinery, we can use some of our thicker PVCs, cut down on the decibels that can relieve some OSHA requirements in the surrounding areas. Woodworking containment, a lot of times the dust and the flammables associated with the dust and just the general dirtiness of it, we can contain that as well, and also for any type of hazmat separation. Sorry guys, let me go back, I gotta go around. Oh, there it is. Okay, so some of our curtain material options, we have solid clears. We can make a curtain in all clear. We have 14 mil clear up to 40 mil thick. And as far as the opaques go, we have 18 ounce to 40 ounce PVC and FPA available in certain colors. And we also do it with what we call a combo curtain. It would be your 18 ounce or your 40 ounce, 22 ounce with a clear vision panel as well. We do manufacture insulated panels. They are available up to an R value of 7, so we offer a 3.5 and a 7. And what we do is we double up the material for the 7. And we also offer a wide variety of screen materials for insect control. One of the big markets we've been growing in recently is the welding screens. We have a line of quick ship weld screens that are available in stock sizes that you could, take to a job site or sell to the customers wherever they might need it. Stores nice, stores in a one-piece box. Just as one of our big movers recently. And then we also have a USDA CFR 21 material for the washdown applications that is available in a clear material. And if you look at the one picture there, it kind of shows you how our insulated curtains are made. So it's a double layer of PVC, and then we have 2 layers of foil in there. If you want the 7 RF value, or if you R value, or the 3.5, it'd be 1 layer. The curtain hardware that we do stock is stocked and galvanized. We supply stainless steel upon request. We have over 300 active inventory items for the curtain. We can provide any solution that you may require for your customers. So if you kind of look at the upper right, I'm just going to kind of go through what they are. So the RT that's our regular track. That's a 14 gauge galvanized track. We have end stops, which is the ES that would fit on the end. Nylon rollers, that was what you would put through the grommets on the curtains. And then the UMB is a universal mounting bracket. That is always combined with the CSC, a little bit lower to the left on there. And what that combines is you could mount that straight to the ceiling, which is what the ceiling CSC stands for, is ceiling connector. And then you can also use that same bracket and mount it straight to the wall or drop threaded rod with it. It's just a lot of our customers will stock those parts. That way they can be ready for any type of application that may come up. And then we also have the straight splice connector. That way you can, your length is unlimited with the straight track. You can just combine as many pieces as you need. So these are different types of what we call curtain hardware families. This would be a ceiling mount. So we have a ceiling mount splice connector that would put the 2 pieces of track together. We have T connectors for where it would come to a sharp T. One of the more popular types is if we add curves as well. That's a 2-foot radius bend. That way you can take the curtain all the way around and you're not limited to just a T where something would have to stop. You could take it, move it completely out of the way. Ceiling support connector is used roughly every 3 to 4 feet and that just supports the weight of the track. And again, we have a T connector as well, and that's if something is dead ending and you have one going forward. And then we can also do doubles as well. Sometimes, especially with some of the thicker PVCs, they don't punch up as well. We can offer doubles. And then we can also stack things side by side. So, pretty much your imagination is the limit. Again, we can use this as an erector set and build whatever you guys require. This would be the threaded hardware family. Again, we don't supply threaded rod. That's one thing to note. We've tried in the past. Trucking companies love to destroy our threaded rod, so we just find it's easier if the dealers purchase it themselves. But we do have all the components for it. So what would happen is you put some type of beam flange connector up top on the joists, and then just drop your threaded rod down to whatever length that you need it to be, and then our curtain would attach to that. If you look, it's like a little upside down L bracket at the top with a hole in it. That's where your threaded rod would come through. We always recommend 3/8/16 threaded rod. The holes that go through the top of the bracket there are 1/2-inch holes. But again, you have basically the same things. You have the splice connectors, the corner connectors, a 3-way connector, and as well as the double and just the regular support connector. Again, we recommend the same spacing, which is every 3 to 4 feet. These are our wall mounting hardware. And one thing I want to mention as well, if you have a special application, we've had them where you go to low ceiling to a high ceiling and they still need to carry the curtains out there. Don't think just because you have 2 different applications, we can supply half of the hardware with a wall mount. And then if you need to go to a threaded rod mount, if you have a higher ceiling or something like that, we can do that too. So again, just talk to one of our sales reps. They'll be gladly work with you and lay out whatever you need to find your solution. So these are basically, again, like the other families do the wall mount. We have wall mount up or down. The down is generally used if you have to tuck up something close to the ceiling, and the ups are if you just have open wall space above where the curtain's going to be. Again, this is our clean screen hardware. This is, again, one of our more specialty items that definitely have found a niche in the market. A lot of the companies that are out there, especially the food service companies, are having what's called a war on water. They want to have any type of material that dries quickly, stops any type of bacteria formation. This is the hardware that you want to do. If you kind of look on the right-hand side, you can see, again, everything's open. All stainless steel, drop down threaded rod, stainless steel. We have the connectors for the threaded rod to come through. Any type of water hits it, it's just going to dry quickly. All the rollers are on the outside. We do offer Delrin rollers, and we also offer stainless steel rollers if everything has to be stainless steel. Some of the services that we offer with this, you'd have to specify it, but we will weld all the butts where the tracks come together. And again, this is custom ordered as well. This is one of the stainless steel items that we ordered to your job specifications. Okay. Before we get into the different types of curtains, I just want to stop there and see if you guys have any general questions. So, Eric, if you could unmute everybody, and we'll see if anybody has any questions.
Okay, everyone is unmuted.
Okay.
Hey, Rick, this is Mike Thomas.
Hi, Mike.
Hi. Looking forward to coming on board in a couple weeks. So I'm
great.
But I've sold a lot of custom TMI stuff at the distributor level throughout my career. And one of the questions I had is, what about sound curtains? Any STC ratings that we can offer?
We do have, I have some materials that have an ST rating up to a 36, and I can get you all the information on that. So we also offer, that's more of our PVC line, but yeah, we have definitely have STC ratings on a lot of our materials. I have a 30 and a 36 that is quite popular. That'd be a 2-pound and a 2.5-pound per square foot. That's a filled PVC, and we manufacture those monthly at the factory, and we stock the items as well. So it's not a problem getting that for you.
Great.
Any other questions on just general curtains or layout, or how can we do something, or something you didn't see that you have a question on? Well, Eric, if you want to mute everybody, I'll go back into, I'll start with the FlexTherms.
Okay, will do.
Okay, so our FlexTherms are insulated curtains. FlexTherms are our trade name for them. So what they feature is up to 5 layers of insulation, and we're also including the outer materials in that 5 layers. And so we have the layer sandwiched with a protective coating of PVC or laminated polyester outer facing. We offer full hook and loop on the panels to provide an airtight panel-to-panel connection. We have an adjustable and replaceable floor sweeps to seal along uneven floors. Even in new construction, you'll notice a lot of dips in the floor. What this does is we'll manufacture the panels about 1 inch above your height, and then we can use the floor sweep to adjust the rest of the way across. We fold all the edges, and this is one of the items, because of the insulation that's in there, we do actually stitch these, but we do utilize moisture and UV resistant threads so they last a long time. So what some of the benefits of this is it offers up to 27 degrees of temperature separation between the adjacent areas. They reduce the energy consumption for cost savings. Your refrigeration units, your freezer units will have to run a lot less. Again, they offer the R value of 3 or 7. And again, they just offer greater floor plan flexibility. We've done these in the past where they were ripening peppers in one area, bananas in another, and those both require different temperatures. And then seasonality, they can move them and put them in different places as well and expand and shrink those areas depending on the time of the year. They're just a lot less expensive than the hard walls. So these would be perfect for your food and pharmaceutical cold storage areas, food processing facilities, walk-in coolers and freezers, and seasonal temperature isolation areas. And this is a video just so everyone can kind of see what a typical installation looks like and what the finished product looks like. So before I start it, these are our FlexTherm panels, and we also have a strip door. Generally, we'll provide the strip door. Anyone doing the installation will provide the frame, but we can provide both for you.
TMI offer an affordable, effective, and efficient solution for separating
Okay. So our next specialty curtain type is our outdoor curtains. What these were basically designed to do is, in the past, we had always used pipe staffs as our outdoor curtains. A couple of years ago, I had to go to a job where we were at a shipyard, and they had these curtains that were surrounding an area where they were building some machinery. A hurricane had come through. Nobody had thought to close them like the directions it said and like they'd been warned to do. So during the hurricane, someone noticed that the pipe staffs bent, as they would, and everything went flying out. And the pipe staffs were basically whirling around. So you basically had a metal pipe in 60, 70, 80 mile an hour wind. It became quite a weapon. So when I went down and observed this, we decided we were going to come up with a different design to it was much safer for our customers, public, everybody. It was just a better design. So we came up with this outdoor curtain. So instead of pipe staffs or any type of metal that's outside going into the ground, it could become a potential weapon. What we use is we use some high-strength webbing material. So what happens to webbing material is we do a full-length pocket on the curtains. It is secured at the top to the hardware, which goes right into our track and is secured to the wall. And then at the bottom, we use a resistance band as well as floor D-rings. So what that does is the D-ring and the resistance band provide a shock absorption, and the webbing just provides all the strength, and it's anchored to the floor and to the wall. Just a much safer, stronger design, and if something would break, which I'll show you pictures later, they do occasionally break, it's not going to become a weapon and nobody will get hurt by it. So what these do feature is they feature a full-length nylon webbing that transfers the wind load to the hardware and the anchors. The universal hardware can mount to any door jamb or wall, ceiling, anything that you might have in the area to mount to. We do a chain-weighted hem that helps weight down the curtain, and the shock absorption absorbs all the violent wind, and as well as the wind release panels. So I'll show you a little bit more in some of the future pictures, but if you look at the bottom right, there's three pictures. There's the top and then the two on the bottom. The bottom left. What happens is there's a rain flap there, and the center portion is actually made out of a mesh material that will allow the wind through, and it'll allow a little bit of rain through, but anything that hits that, it'll hit the rain flap and fall right to the ground to keep your area still separated. So what the benefits of these are that they keep the elements out, added security against unwanted entry. We know folks can still get in them, but visual barriers, keeps the honest folks out. Quickly slides open to allow traffic to pass, improves working conditions, and it's just a cost-effective way to rigid panels and to full-blown construction in walls. These are perfect for pool buildings, pavilions, access openings, loading docks. A lot of lumber manufacturers use this type of curtain as well in their areas to keep everything dry. Some of the different installations that we had. This was at a pavilion where a community was putting on a talent show, and what they were doing is they were using the curtain. They'd be having folks perform inside while they were getting ready for the next act outside. They use it, for activities in the wintertime where they can help heat the inside of it. Again, it provides a great separation, and when they do keep it open, it's just a lot better protection than any type of metal or rigid thin materials that could break in the wind. Again, it does have its limits. A few years ago, we had that cyclone bomb. This was on the other side of the Virginia mountains. They clocked the wind speed at about 85 miles an hour. Nobody had opened the curtains and secured them to the side. And again, Mother Nature will always win. Other than the curtains, though, there was really no major structural or any other type of damage. Nobody got hurt in this. As you can see, it was pretty violent. So if you do know big storms coming, they still need to open these up. I mean, if you think about it, Viking ships would sail across the ocean that were huge on sails smaller than some of these curtains are. So again, great product, has its place, but we still need to make sure that our customers are aware that if the storm's coming or a hurricane, you need to secure them to the side and leave them in the open position so it won't become a sail. Clean screen curtains, again, just to go into further detail on them, again, this is perfect for wash down, any type of clean room application. All the materials satisfy the Code of Federal Regulations, CFR Title 21. A lot of folks will still ask for USDA materials. The CFR Title 21 has replaced USDA approval, and if they meet the requirements of CFR Title 21, it is now considered old USDA. It's a tubular track with the open wall hangers. Some of the benefits of it are that it creates a barrier, but it maintains visibility and safety. Remains flexible in temperatures as low as 20 degrees Fahrenheit, and it prevents the entrapment of any types of contaminants to deter bacteria growth and eliminate rust. One of the other unique features of these is all of our other curtains, we always run the seams horizontally, and that is just because height is generally the most critical of the measurements, and if the material is a little bit bigger or smaller, in the width, it's not a big deal, just kind of like your shower curtain at home, there's a bit of drape in it. What we do on these curtains, it's special, is we run all the seams vertically. That way there's no spot for the any type of water or anything else to collect. So again, it's just an added step that we do in the manufacturing process to ensure the best product for our customers. Again, pharmaceutical compounding, they use these a lot, clean rooms, food preparation, wash down areas. Roll-up curtains. These are a recent add. We've begun adding a lot of these in the last 3 or 4 years to our product offering. We offer manual and motorized activation systems. We offer up to 15 feet wide motorized and up to 80 feet wide manual. The heat seals hem offer greater strength and longevity than sewn hems. The chain weighted hems keep the curtain in place, and they're available in clear, flexible PVC and with windows. We also offer full opaque if that's what the customer needs as well. We will offer a type of floor securement, like a D-ring and an attachment point. We'll only offer that in the manual. We won't offer that in the motorized. The benefits are that they roll up out of the way when not in use. They isolate the area and protect them for increased safety. They're, again, a lot more cost effective than the fixed walls, and they're faster and more flexible than conventional doors. Perfect for machining centers, greenhouses, body shops, and a lot of cross-dock facilities use these to increase the airflow in the summer. But if it's raining or anything like that, they'll go ahead and close them. Manual roll-up curtains. This is an example of one. Basically what you have is at the top, the hardware system, we have 2 standoff brackets, and then we offer a hand crank. When you need to get it completely out of the way, just crank it up. Just a couple different shots as they're coming up. You can kind of see a little bit better angle. We have the hook, and then that turns the crank, which in turn brings the curtain up. And on the right-hand side, we have a couple different the options. We have a drill rod, which would be the top center. You could hook this up to a cordless drill and just run it off that. Bottom left, we have the hand crank. Then we also would have a crank that could go, removable crank, if this is something that's in a customer area that the general public can get to it. You can slide that in, crank it up or down, and then remove it with you when you're done. We have in-tube roll-up curtains as well. What this basically does is we'll take the motor that we have for our roll-up doors, our screen pros, and we use the tube and everything else for that. Up, down, roughly 12 inches per foot, or I'm sorry, 12 inches per second. Very low speed door, but it does a great job of getting the curtain out of the way. A lot of times people use these, they can be triggered off things with the smart card system. So if you have any type of welding application or just an area that you need to secure, do it motorized, this is a great system for it. Truck curtains, refrigeration costs keep going up, fuel costs keep going up. So a lot of our customers have been using our curtains in the truck industry. We can offer them insulated, non-insulated, different types of hardware to fit anywhere in the truck. Basically, it's just the 2 straight pieces or I'm sorry, the straight piece of track at the top and then 2 end stops. A lot of times folks will just put them in various places along the truck, and it's very easy to transfer the curtain and actually refrigerate less space as you're moving back. And again, these are offered in the 3 and the 7 as far as our value goes as well. Some of the resources that we have for you, we can get you a submittal sheet that you can take on your job site, fill it out, send it back to us. This just helps answer all the questions that we'll need to provide to engineering to quote you the best product to solve your needs. So basically what it goes through is just general setup, whether it's one-sided, two-sided, 3 or 4. If you need any type of radius bends, overall dimensions. One of the things I mentioned before I want to touch back on is drape. Generally, we add 10% for drape. So if you have a 100-inch opening, we'll make the curtain 110 inches. That's just so it lays nice. There are cases where you don't want that if you're trying to hit beam to beam and it needs to be tight. But just your general run-of-the-mill industrial curtain, we're going to go ahead and add 10% drape. You request more or less. This middle sheet will ask you what type of hardware mounting you want, and as well as the curtain types, and also lists our available colors as well. Basically page 2. And it also touches on some of the high points as well, just so you can let the customer know. We use a 2-inch perimeter heat seal. Grommets are always on 12-inch centers. We use nylon rollers. Steel are available. Also goes over the drape as well. So just a good resource. If you guys need it, get in contact with us. We can get you out some different copies. That way you can help share things with your customer and get the product quoted right the first time. When an order is placed, you will receive a curtain drawing. What these do is this just has all of your options. We will not produce a drawing or a curtain unless it is signed off upon. These are, in fact, a custom product. Other than a couple quick ship sizes, everything's made to order. So this is just something you would see. You need to make sure that it has all your options on it, the colors are correct, and the sizes are correct. We also offer instructions on our basic types. Every one of these curtains are kind of like a snowflake. They're unique. We don't have instructions for each job per se, but we do have instructions for each family. And these will kind of go through the different items. And these are available on our website as well. So we'll go over that at the end as well. But our resource center on the website has all this information for you. Just some different installations just to give you guys some ideas. This was a job that we did at the University of Illinois. It's a fantastic job. They had some empty space in one of their buildings that they wanted to rent to some entrepreneurs. So this took a couple of our different ideas, and we put a roll-up door in these for the customer. We secured them to the floor. We ran some chains through them. So basically what they were doing is they were putting in manufacturing spots in their great big warehouse in the basement, and they were renting them out to folks. So they didn't want people to be able to see aisle to aisle, but they had to clear at the top or clear in the middle so they could still let light through. And then they had the top balance just to keep the dust and debris and everything else from going into each individual workspace. And what would happen is if they need to move equipment in and out, the university would lock or unlock depending on what they needed to do. But it was just a neat setup for them. It was a great job. It was really unique as far as that goes. We got to use pretty much all of our different types of curtains all in one job. Just another look at an installation, just some shipping versus manufacturing space. They wanted to keep the shipping and the rail yard side separated from all the manufacturing space to keep everything clean on the manufacturing space, which is on the other side of the wall. More of a clean room type application here as well. They put in a doorway into the curtain, floor to ceiling on it, and just separation, keep the packaging and any of the other materials separated from all the dust, dirt, and debris. This is one of the woodworking applications I was referring to. Another great thing about the clear curtains is safety. Something happens to somebody or they get hurt, you can see right through the curtain, still get to them very quickly. but at the same time, it provides a separation. They had 4 different dust collectors in this area. And as you see at the floor, this is the day we installed it, and I went back a couple of days later. Everything else was nice and clean, but even though they have all the dust collection and everything else, it still didn't catch it all, but the curtains definitely helped to contain all that. But our website, Resource Center on the website has a lot of great information. If you go to tmi-pvc.com, click on the Resource Center, instructions are there, a lot of the drawings are there, different hardware types, all of our catalogs are there. Great place. I recommend that you go there and kind of get familiar with things. Of course, I'm always available on extension 117 if you call our 800 number. Seen pretty much a lot of the different installations, helped on a few of them, so it's just something that we can help you with. But again, the Resource Center is open 24/7, 365, and has a lot of the answers for you as well.